Attorneys, love them, hate them, we need them. Here in New York, we're an attorney state, which means we need an attorney. Okay, so if you're shopping or you need assistance now, then please click the Calendly link down below to schedule a 15-minute call with myself or a member of the team. And if you're tired of Realtor, Truly, and Zillow and blah, 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 then go ahead, click the link for my app below. It's free and it works in every state around America. Guys, welcome back to How to Buy a Home in New York series. And today is step number 4, how to pick your real estate attorney in 3 easy steps. So, disclaimer, out of all the professionals that you'll be hiring, your attorney is probably one of the, and I stress this, the most important people. They will be seeing the deal from accepted offer all the way to closing. And sometimes they may even represent you as the bank attorney. So out of all the deals that I've encountered that have fallen through, 90% of them have the attorneys to blame. That's a shocking number. So let's just jump in and see what you need to do to avoid these pitfalls. Step 1. This may be absolutely obvious, and yet I see people trying to make this mistake all the time. And I say trying because I push back as hard as possible to not allow this mistake. Hire a real estate attorney, not a divorce attorney that does real estate, or any other attorney that says they do real estate. Hell, I make an amazing cup of coffee. It doesn't mean I should be a barista and open up a coffee shop. Okay, this is the same exact thing. Attorneys that specialize in real estate, number 1, they know other attorneys, so it makes transactions simpler. Number 2, they know the process, but they're also up to date on the current process, not what it was 5 years ago when you last did a real estate transaction. Step number 1, it seems obvious, but hire a real estate attorney. That is an attorney who specializes in real estate. You can sense my frustration, I'm sure, on the other end of this camera, but it's to protect you. I've seen too many buyers lose homes because their attorneys don't know what the they're doing. Okay, I'm done now. I'm done ranting. Gonna have to bleep that out. You also may be tempted to go with a union attorney, but I found that they're pretty slow too. So again, take it with caution. Just hire your own. Find somebody that does a good job, please. You'll thank me later, I promise. Moving right along, step number 2. How busy are they? Okay, again, attorneys are one of the core components of the transaction. And if they are so busy and so swamped that they can't get back to you in a timely fashion, or they can't get back to the other attorneys or the lenders or the agents in a timely fashion, this is gonna drive you bananas. And you know what? You're not even gonna yell at the attorney. You're gonna be calling the agent nonstop. What's going on? Are there any updates? What's taking so long? The agent will hear about all of this. Even if you pick the slow attorney, it somehow is the agent's fault. So here's what you do. Step 2, when interviewing an attorney, just notice how long it takes them to get back to you. Does it take them a few hours to get back to you? Does it take them a few days? These are all signs that this is most likely how your transaction will go. It will be slow and it will be delayed. Now, if you happen to find an attorney that gets back to you really quick, then that's a good sign. So as I mentioned, attorneys are one of the most important pieces of the puzzle, and you want them to operate in a timely fashion. Moving right along, step number 3. When comparing attorneys, don't just look at what they charge, because typically what happens is the cheaper an attorney is, the busier they are, which means usually the worse the service is, because most people don't hire the help they need because they focus on such low margins. So when comparing an attorney to an attorney, just find out, what does this get me? How long will it take for me to hear back from you? Do I talk to you directly, or am I talking to your assistant? Are you working with 30 clients and are at closings all day? Or are you working with less clients because you charge more, or whatever the case might be? These are all things you want to know. Again, you don't want a slow process. So let's wrap up. Red flags. Number 1, just make sure they do real estate. Real estate attorney. Step 2, find out how busy are they. And step 3, Just find out what you get for what you're paying for. Very simple. Okay, so the good news is now you know how to pick an attorney and what not to do and some of the pitfalls to look out for. I think my worst attorney story ever was I was dealing with an attorney who was a former prosecutor. Okay, so now I'm representing a buyer. He's a former prosecutor, and he wants me to get all these documents, everything up front before the contract to purchase is even signed. That doesn't happen. It's not a normal practice. It may have been once upon a time, but since 2015 that I've been selling real estate, you sign the contract and then you get everything later. The reason for this is if you don't sign the contract and lock that deal in, anybody can come along and take the house. And since some buyers are flakes, sellers are not going to wait around to get all this stuff before you even sign the contract. That's not going to happen. So that is my worst story because that cost the client the deal. And we still talk about that house to this day and how if he had purchased it financially right now with the way the economy is spiked up, he would have made out like a bandit. But lo and behold, so don't make that mistake. Just get somebody that does real estate. Okay, as usual, if you want to be notified when step number 5 comes out, how to pick your inspector, then go ahead, hit subscribe, turn on the notifications. If you've already done so, you're amazing. And I'll see you back here next time.